I hate gift giving and receiving.
Receiving gifts is so weird. What do you say? Thank you?
This is Coffee Convos with Kail Lowry and Lindsie Chrisley.
I really want you to be in your feels, Kail.
That does not interest me whatsoever.
I feel very attacked by you.
A spirited discussion about motherhood, friendship, family, and life in the public eye.
I'm just not with the fakery anymore.
There's a fakery bakery around here.
Here's Kail and Lindsie.
Are you yawning?
I am. How are you?
Good morning.
Happy bonus episode, everyone.
I just need to show you what I currently look like at this moment.
I love your Chick-fil-A shirt.
Always. Chick-fil-A forever and ever. I have a nice little Alani that I'm about to pop the top to. The area that I'm currently in this moment is very Coffee Combos-esque. So I'm about to show you my surrounding. But just needed to tell you that I am fresh right now. Before we started recording, you said you look very fresh. Just got in the shower and did a deep conditioner. I need to know how many other people in the summertime feel like their hair gets like horse hay, because that's what my hair feels like.
Yeah, I would say so. Especially like if you're in the pool a lot or you're using a lot of product or no, definitely. I'm drinking a coffee. It's not working currently.
God bless.
Yeah.
God bless you, honey.
I'm tired.
Good morning, Coffee Convos podcast. How are we? Look at this.
Is that real or fake? That's fake.
Bye. Don't call my plants out like that.
It's a faux fig.
A faux fig. Just like I have a faux, what's that one that has like the big leaves?
Elephant ear?
Yeah. Have a faux elephant ear. All kinds of faux shit going on in my house.
I love that for you.
I love that for me too.
I really do.
I had a sleepover last night. And
like an adult sleepover?
Adult, kid, all the things. And so we are definitely summering in this household. Need to also know how many people use their grill almost every single day in the summertime, because yes.
I actually, since I moved, we don't have one. And Eli just said on like Memorial Day or something, he's like, I think I'm going to go get a grill. I was like, probably not today. I was like, but we definitely need one because I grill a lot in the summertime. So yeah, I love
What do y'all
grilling.
grill?
Everything. I grill I don't. I eat everything that's grilled.
Does not answer my question. Grilling everything, like
chicken, asparagus, baked potatoes. The kids love hot dogs, obviously. Salmon, all the things.
Okay. You know what is the best on the grill, but I feel like probably not a lot of people do it?
What?
Do you like onion?
No.
Why?
It's a texture thing for me.
I like onion raw. I like it cooked. I like it every way.
I don't like it crunchy. I can only do it if it's soft and it doesn't have a crunch.
What about if you went to like Outback and got like a bloomin' onion?
Is that like an onion ring?
Kind of. But it's
I
just
eat an
like,
onion ring.
See, and that's the one thing that I won't eat is the onion ring, because it's something about the texture, the combo of like it feeling like slimy on the inside and then like the crunchy on the outside. I can't. I'm like, yeah, I can't. Okay, but for everybody who does like onion, this is the best thing ever. My ex-father-in-law used to do it, and he was basically genius for it, and it's the one thing that I still love him for. No, I'm just kidding. Like, I love him anyway. He would do an onion and cut like the middle out and stuff it with butter and like salt and pepper the whole outside, and then stick it on the grill, and it would get all like steamy and buttery. And then you take it off and you have it as like a side.
No, I've never heard of that in my entire life. I've never heard of eating an onion, like an onion as a side ever in my life.
Well, last night we did burgers and grilled chicken. Are you a more chicken breast girly or chicken thigh girly?
No, I'm a chicken breast girly. I really don't like chicken thighs that much.
Okay, so funny story. When I got in this current relationship that I'm in, we started eating chicken and like different salad kits and sweet potatoes Monday through Friday. And then we would like we'll go out to eat on the weekends. And it's just like, you know what, you need to get with this plan because I feel like it's so healthy for you. And he was like, I'm going to make chicken thighs. And I was like, good for you, but not for me because I don't do chicken thighs. And he's like, why? They're so good. It's literally the best thing ever. And I said, no, that is, first of all, not the best chicken ever. Best chicken ever is if you know how to cook a chicken breast properly. And also my ex-husband burnt me out on chicken thighs so bad that I've never had one since.
What is it with men and chicken thighs? Because
I don't know.
Elijah also loves chicken thighs, and I don't understand that.
And you know what I said? I said thighs are for guys.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
yeah, like it's something about like the texture of that meat. It's just like, yeah, I ain't about that.
I don't love meat on a bone.
Oh, I don't love meat on a bone either, except chicken wings, which are on a bone. But I might have talked about it on the Southern Tea to Kristen about like my recent food aversions.
No.
Okay. I'm going through something and I said, we talked about my burning nipples and shit, but like.
What?
You and I talked about my burning nipples. My sore nipples.
No, we did not.
Yes, we did.
When?
The phantom pregnancy and my burning nipples and all my blood work and shit.
I don't remember the burning nipples thing, but now that you say that, I just need to tell you the other day, Lux went in my shower and was like, God. Mom, what's this? And it was like my coffee scrub. And I was like, oh, you like put it on your body or whatever. Tell me why he exfoliated his nipple. And then he was like, Mom, it burns. I need a Band-Aid. Like he exfoliated his little tiny nipple. And I was like, no, that's not, you don't put that on your nipples. And even after that, he was like, went to go get more for like his legs. I said, but don't put that near your privates. I'm like, because the same thing's going to happen. Poor thing had to have Aquaphor on his little nipple. Yeah, he had burning nipples as well, but no phantom pregnancy.
Goodbye. No, you know where I thought that you were going with that story, which it took a very different turn.
Where?
I thought that you had forgotten your stick-on dick on the thing.
Oh, no. No.
Have you been using that lately, by the way?
No, I haven't been using it. Actually, I haven't used toys in a long time. I just low libido because of Lexapro right now, and my kids are in my bed. So Lux and Creed are both in my bed. I slept horizontally at the bottom of my bed last night.
No, that's just, I cannot do bad sleep. That is one thing I cannot do. Like, you can fuck with me all other hours of the day, but when it is time for bed, nobody fuck with me.
Nobody fuck with me. That's
no. Like
how I was for a long time, but for some reason I can't get these kids out of my bed. I mean, for Creed, it's fine, but like Lux, they both sleep like wild animals. So like they'll be sleeping, but they just toss and turn and toss, and they're sleeping horizontally and upside down. And it's just a lot. So I just moved to the end of the bed and it was fine. But
see, a rested mom is the best mom, in my opinion. I'm like,
100%.
If you mess with me while I'm trying to sleep, the demon that is going to be unleashed whenever I wake up is not what you want to deal with. So like, it would behoove you to get your ass horizontal or vertical in whatever bed you choose to get in, but not in mine.
Yeah.
And Jackson sleeps like a pencil, like a little pencil.
Isaac does too. He just sleeps and doesn't move.
I wonder what causes some kids to be like all over the bed and crazy, and then some to just be like normal Neds where they can just be normal. Jackson's never slept crazy. But back to my food aversion thing. So I started having these weird, like, everything tastes different. Mm-hmm. And I can't eat chicken wings right now. And you know, I am a chicken wing connoisseur. Like, yeah. I love a chicken wing. Like, everything about it I love. And now I almost said somebody's name that I'm not supposed to be saying, but when he was cutting his chicken thigh last night and I looked at the bone on the plate, I almost yacked.
That's so weird. Have you been sick recently? Because I noticed, for example, like after COVID, nothing tastes the same. Like everything tasted like fucking cardboard to me. And even now, like fast food doesn't taste good to me at all. I don't know if it's related to COVID or if it's related to something else, but maybe, have you been sick lately?
No. I mean, yeah. I said no. I mean, yeah, like throw up sick, but it just like is sporadic. Stop giving me that look.
You've been throw up sick, Lindsie?
I have been throw up sick. Okay, so we have a bunch of questions that we need to get to because everybody be asking all the questions. The first one is, how do you working mamas deal with mom guilt? I think mom guilt is like the worst thing in the world. When you feel it, you feel like the biggest failure ever. Like I could be bad. I could be doing like bad at work. I could be having a messy house and like not feel bad about any of that and not have any sense of remorse. But if I feel like I've let my kid down, that is like, or he's not happy about something and I feel like I could have done something to prevent it, it's the worst feeling ever.
I couldn't sleep last night and the night before because, you know, nighttime at my house is very chaotic. You know, for weeks, months, Creed's whole life, I would put him to bed and then I'd go lay with Lux, and then Lincoln started asking me to lay with him. And then it got to a point where it was like, I'm not even kidding you. It'd take like 3 hours. So we would start between 7 and 8 and then eventually pushed it to 9 and I wouldn't get to bed. And so now I just literally put Lux and Creed in my bed and call it a day. But the mom guilt that I feel, and this isn't related to working, this is related to just mom guilt in general, not feeling like I've given Isaac and Lincoln proper like nighttime time. That sucks. And my kids love coming to this office with me. Like when I tell you I don't know what it is. I don't know if they just like being in mom's office. Lincoln has his basketball hoop outside. I don't know what it is. They love fucking coming here. I can't. I'm like, every time I have allowed you guys to come here and you promise me that you're going to be quiet and, you know, I'm going to be recording and you guys don't ask me for anything, you guys don't listen. And then it puts us behind and we all get frustrated. And so Creed has been asking to come with me. And it's like, the mom guilt is so bad because I want them to be able to come here and see me work or hear me work. And I don't even know.
Be a part of the whole thing.
Yes, but it's not possible. If it was possible, I wouldn't have this office and I'd work from home. And that's just not, it's so bad. And then lately, I would say like the past 2 weeks, again, not so much related to like working specifically, but my kids have been like, not eavesdropping, but if I'm on a phone call with Kristen or, you know, or I'm talking to Natalie or whatever the case may be, they're like, what was that about? Like, what were you saying? Like they want to know everything. And I'm just like, this is a working call. Like, this is something that I need to do. And I just feel horrible about it. But also we don't have like traditional out of the home jobs. And so it's probably hard for them to understand. And I try to be mindful of that. But the mom guilt sucks always around working or not working.
So, you know how I was totally against having a sitter or anything like that, like never wanted one and have always been the type, you know, I don't need my parents' help. I don't need Will's parents' help, his help, nobody's help. I can just do all of the things because part of me is like, I love what I do for a career. And it almost gives me like this sense of, oh, because you love what you do, it doesn't feel as much like a job, even though I do work a lot of hours. So I can be a mom 24/7 and I don't need any help. Summer started rolling around and I don't know if I told you, but now that we have our co-parenting schedule pretty, I would say, seamless, took us a while to get there, but we arrived. I now have a girl come and sit with Jackson for a couple of hours once a week so that I can go and do things outside of my work schedule. And I felt so guilty of that because I have Jackson 50% of the time. Sometimes I end up having him more and, you know, just depending on our work travel schedules, whatever. Sometimes I end up having him less than Will 1 month, more than Will 1 month. But I felt so guilty having somebody come and help me on one of those days. And even though it was just a couple of hours, the amount of guilt that I felt associated with that was just so much. And then it's almost like I latch on to Jackson whenever I have him just to myself all those other hours. And then I feel guilty for that because I always remember my dad telling me when I was born that he did so many unhealthy things because he felt like he brought me into a situation that like wasn't healthy. And so I find myself doing certain things with Jackson, like, oh, can we snuggle for like an hour, or like, can we do this? Because I feel guilty for like what I feel like I didn't do. And so that's the worst.
Yeah.
Being work from home. Is that what we are? Work from home moms.
Yeah.
And I do everything out of this house. So Jackson's with his sitter now, and they're going to do like lunch, go to the basketball court, go to the pool, play badminton. And I'm so grateful that I have the ability to be able to have that type of help. But at the same time, I can't help but feel the mom guilt knowing that I'm working and I want to be doing those things with him.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really good point that you're making too. You know, when we have shared custody, especially a 50-50 situation, it almost feels like we don't have an excuse to not spend that time with our kids. But also, what is the alternative? If we didn't do what we do for our jobs and we went and got, you know, worked at a bank, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, like, if we worked at a bank and we worked, you know, 7 to 4, whatever hours they're open, or we worked in corporate America, we'd be gone even more. And so I can't imagine what those parents feel like, you know, like they probably feel like they're missing out on so much. Actually, I took my kids to the dentist this morning, all 4 of them. And the receptionist.
I can't believe you do that, by the way.
So,
that is so chaotic to me. This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar. Now get 20% off every IQ Bar product plus free shipping when you text Convos to 64,000. I was just talking about a thief in my house who likes to steal my IQ bars. And when I say steal, it's legitimately steal because they have no intentions of ever replacing it. So I have 6 IQ bars left and I have not placed my new order, but they are one of my absolute most favorite snacks.
Well, I love them too because it's the #1 brain and body protein bar in the US. And I always wake up so hungry in the middle of the night. And it's like, why is this happening? So I started eating these before bed. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I love it because they're gluten, soy, GMO free. They're also keto, vegan, and paleo. So they fit into any lifestyle. They also have one of my absolute favorite flavors, toasted coconut chip. And I absolutely love it. So if you guys are going to order these, get that one.
Did I tell you that I like every flavor of IQ bar? Like normally I'm not like that. And I am very picky about like, I have to have this specific flavor, but I like every single one of them. I do have a favorite and it is the peanut butter chip. Anything peanut butter really strikes my fancy. The IQ bar is the only bar that is optimized for your brain and body. It's packed with brain nutrients, plant protein, and fiber, all with next to no sugar or net carbs. It's honestly mind-blowing because it's a super clean label, but it is so delicious. So if you need some crash-free energy, you need a good grab-and-go breakfast, pre or post-workout snack, or that 3 p.m. slump preventer when you're at your desk, IQ Bar is the bar for you. They have 7 mouthwatering flavors. Try them all. You'll absolutely love them. Create the feeling of finally discovering a truly nutritious bar that actually tastes good. You can now get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, just text Convos to 64,000. Get your discount. Text Convos to 64,000. That's Convos to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
Yeah, so Lux and Creed are my most chaotic kids. Like they are wild. So I do get frustrated with them in the waiting room because they just like don't sit the fuck down. But anyway, so the receptionist, I've known her since I moved to Delaware. So 2013-ish, 2014. And she's like, so are your kids doing any camps this summer? And I was like, and then I felt guilty for that because I was like, and I said, I was like, they're not. I was like, they're just really expensive. They're like $200 to $300 a week. And then I have 4 kids. And then on top of it, they're going to be with their dads half the summer because it's every other week. I said I didn't sign them up for camp because, you know, we just got the pool and I'm trying to do something where I'm flexible with the weeks that I don't have to podcast to try to spend time with them because I'm only with them half the summer. It's just parenthood is so weird.
I wonder if dads feel the same amount of guilt as moms do, or if they just process things very differently, because I feel like Will's processor looks very differently than mine.
Yeah, I'm not saying that there are no dads that feel that way, especially, single dads. I know a single dad that I went to high school with. He's a great dad. I'm sure there are dads that feel guilt about it, but I think they're few and far between. If this doesn't apply to your man, this doesn't apply. Mm-hmm. But just from what I've seen in my experiences, they don't, and I'm not saying they don't feel guilt at all. I just don't think it's the same.
Mm-hmm. I think that they either handle it much better. And part of me thinks that typically men are wired less emotionally than women are. So maybe that's why we carry so much guilt around. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but I don't really have a solution for this because I feel like this is just a part of
motherhood.
And you just have to give yourself grace because you can't be everywhere at all times. And I have to remember, the time that I'm spending away from Jackson is needed time. The only time that I'm ever spending away from him is if, I wouldn't have him anyway. And I try to overload myself on the time that I wouldn't have him anyway. And then the times that I do have him and I have to do something, I have to remember that I am providing financial stability for him. And there's also a place for that in my life. So
100%.
Can you please go on our Facebook page? It is the Coffee Convos podcast fans page.
Okay.
Go through it through your app to be able to pull it up.
Okay.
Because you're tagged on there.
I'm tagged?
Mm-hmm. And there is a post in there that says, what word can you not say correctly or have been saying wrong for years? I get this all the time. There's two that I can think of that people harass me about. And it's truly harassment. It's truly harassment.
It's truly harassment. It won't let me open it for some reason.
It's okay. I'll read them.
Okay.
It truly is harassment. It causes me to be self-conscious. It also is probably not going to change, to be honest, because at 33 years old, if I've been rolling with especially like this long, then it's just especially. And because people also say my sister and I say it the exact same way. So evidently it is part of either our raising or just geographically where we're from. So it's also because.
Kristen tagged me in it. I can't think of a word that I mispronounce regularly and always have. I will say that
indicted.
I've never been able to live down indicted. And I don't think that anyone came for me harder than like the Teen Mom troll pages. So shout out to them for that. But I'm looking at some of these words and there's just
I'm going to just go through them. Okay. Like, and how we would say them.
Okay.
And the words that we're saying are evidently words that you guys mispronounce. Rural.
I hate that word. I hate it. Like, I fucking hate the word rural. Just like, sorry, I have a cousin named this, and so does Elijah. I don't like the name Rory for that same reason. Rural, Rory. Like, they're just very weird names. They're very weird to say. Lowry is weird.
Rory is a cute name. Like, I think that's so cute.
Say it.
Rory. No, your lips just don't go that way. It's Rory.
Rory.
Okay, rural. A word that I hate is fucking moist.
Oh, that word is disgusting.
Like, there's nothing, there might not be a worse word. Chipotle. Okay,
Chipotle.
Cayenne pepper.
None of these words are hard to pronounce. What is going on?
I don't know. Oh, both.
Okay, so you know what word that I'm not going to say his name. I say this all the time, but I'm no longer giving baby daddy's time or ex's time, and I'm not announcing, like, just figure out who the fuck it was. My ex used to make fun of the way I say else instead of, he would say that it's
else.
Yes, but I say like, oh, I want to do something else. Is that not, say it.
Else. I mean, I don't feel like it pisses. If somebody mispronounces a word, like, it literally doesn't piss me off. Like,
I've never
Ever.
been pissed off about you saying especially.
Like, fuck off, honestly. Everybody who
You're getting indicted for saying especially.
And because
I never noticed you doing that.
someone put on here, is it archive or archive?
Archive.
Who the chive is a fucking thing that you put on a potato.
Yeah, chive.
A chive.
Do you say salmon or salmon?
Salmon. What do you say? My nanny says salmon, and it pisses my dad off so bad. He's like, it's not salmon.
So many people around me would say salmon. So for a while I had picked up salmon, but it's definitely salmon.
Yeah, it definitely is. Okay, so I'm trying to think of this one word, and I feel like Chase says it differently than the rest of us, and I can't think of it. It's almost like, no, I'll have to think of it, and then I'll
Lux
get back.
always says, instead of magnetic, he says kinetic.
I feel like that's just like a little kid, though.
But like, I know what, like when he literally asked about my glasses like 3 days ago. He's like, where's your kinetic ones? And I knew exactly what he was saying. I didn't have to be like, what? It's just, where's your kinetic ones?
I love that so much. You should start making a list of all the things that they say wrong so that you can remember, because eventually they won't. And I'm the type of mom that I will not correct Jackson if he doesn't know how to say something. It's like he'll figure it out at some point. Mm-hmm. And if somebody makes fun of him, I'm going to be pissed off immediately. I thought of the word coupon. I say coupon.
Oh, and I say tournament. You say tournament.
Yeah.
Lux also does roast beef.
Huh?
Roast beef.
Oh, beef.
Instead of roast beef,
yeah,
we'll say roast beef.
That's so cute. Okay, so is it coupon or coupon?
It's a coupon.
No, you're wrong. It's a coupon.
No, Cupid is Cupid and coupon is coupon.
Okay, well, I just feel like you're wrong. Okay, what about this one? Dandruff.
Dandruff.
Is it dandruff or dandruff?
I mean, it's spelled dandruff, but we all say dandruff.
Yeah, I feel like we all say that.
Do you say pajamas or pajamas?
Go get your pajamas.
I don't know. I don't know how I say that.
Say it in a sentence. Like if you were pretend like you're talking to your kids.
Go put your jammies on.
So you don't say any. I just say, go get your pajamas.
I'm trying to see what other words are on here. Worcestershire.
Oh, Worcestershire sauce.
What is it?
Worcestershire sauce.
I've never said that word ever in my life.
That's because you don't know how to say it. Because I just listened to you say it. Worcestershire. People say Worcestershire. Or what? Yeah. It's Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire?
Goodbye. The trolls are coming. Like, they are coming. Oh, this is a good one. Is it Alzheimer's?
Alzheimer's.
No. Nanny says Alzheimer's.
No, it's Alzheimer's.
And it's like, y'all are Alzheimer's. Like, it is not timers. Like, Alzheimer's. Okay, crayon.
Crayon.
No. Some people will say crown.
No.
It's crayon.
It's crayon.
I feel like we say it different. Say it again.
Crayon.
It's like on at the end. Crayon.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I say it like a CRAIN, crayon.
Okay, I'm moving the fuck on. Bye.
Okay. BlindsGalore.com can help you give any room an incredible makeover with custom blinds, shades, or shutters. Their huge 4th of July sale starts June 28th, and you can celebrate with up to 50% off all custom blinds and shades. Order your free samples today to get started. I need to do this because I actually have not touched window treatments in a lot of the rooms in my house, and I've been in the house for a year now, but I would love to actually check this out. I need to do this while they have their sale.
Listen, one of my most favorite things that I've done to my house is my shutters. I feel like that put the entire house together. It was like the finishing piece that I didn't know that I needed until I had it. And I'm like, okay, this is amazing. So you definitely need to check out blindsgalore.com. It is a family owned and run business. It was the original place to buy custom window treatments online, and they are celebrating 25 years in business this year and want you to get a look that you'll love. So no expensive interior designer necessary. You can do it all right from your home, which we absolutely love. You just take your measurements and customize online, and you're going to be able to see exactly how your blind or shade will look on screen before you buy. If you're anything like me, I have a really hard time looking at a space and like putting together what it's going to look like in my head without seeing an actual visual. So I love the idea of this. And it's a designer look without the designer price tag. So from family owned and run company that covered over 2 million windows.
Order your free samples today so you'll be ready when Blinds Galore 4th of July sale starts next week, and everything will be up to 50% off. Visit blindsgalore.com today and let them know we sent you. That's blindsgalore.com.
How do you deal with kids having fights or fallouts with friends?
That's the worst. I'm going through that right now.
I feel like I don't have a child that's old enough that this is like a thing. Like maybe they like argue at school over something that happened like on the basketball court, but I feel like it's so short lived, and then it's just you said what you said and then we just move on. Like I just don't have this experience yet.
Isaac is like, the drama in middle school I hope will be over when it gets closer to high school, because I definitely feel like I also had more problems in like 7th and 8th and 9th grade.
Those are such big years though. I feel like that's when most kids, I would say for the majority, like start going through puberty.
Yes, definitely.
You know?
I actually, one of Isaac's, the guidance counselor called me, and then one of Isaac's friend's dad called me and was like, they got to get this under control. Like, not blaming the school, but just saying like the school has to take some accountability because it's happening in the school. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if anyone thank God the school year is over for most of us, but going into the next year, I want to warn parents. This is strictly for the parents, and don't let the kids hear this to give them any ideas. Skip ahead for the next 5 minutes. I texted Kristen about it and I was like, low key, this is fucking, she was like, that's genius. But these kids who get their phones taken away for like bad behavior or something, or, they're not listening or whatever reason you're taking your kid's phone, they're using their Chromebooks and opening Google Docs and sending it back and forth to each other to text.
You're kidding.
Kristen was like, low-key, that's fucking genius. And I was like, no, it is. I was like, but now I have to monitor him on his fucking Chromebook for school.
So let me get this right. So because they can like be on a joint document.
Like how me, you, and Kristen can be on a joint document for Google Docs. The kids are doing the same thing.
And then they just go in and like type.
They're texting. Like they'll put a message on there, and then they'll send it to their friend, and then they'll put they don't even have to send it. I think in Google Docs, everyone can be having a conversation, like essentially having a conversation at the same time.
They didn't invent this. Like we did the same shit whenever we were kids. When our parents took our cell phones, then you just get on AIM or AIM.
Oh, I didn't have a computer until I was in like 8th or 9th grade. So
yeah, you just like get on AIM, and then you like start hearing your dad's footsteps like come up the stairs, and it's like fuck, away message right away.
I'm just
God's
like
coming.
Google God's coming. God's coming. Google Docs though, I'm like, so Joe had texted me because
so much.
Isaac was over there and he's like, did you know? He acted like I knew. Like, no, I wouldn't. If I knew, I would shut that shit down. No, I didn't know.
Bro, like, did you think that I was just so aware that they were trying to act like they're business professionals on fucking Google Docs? Like,
no. And so wait, so this dad called me, right? Isaac's friend's dad. So it wasn't like they weren't fighting, but it was about someone else. So someone else had texted Isaac's friend.
Yeah.
Tell Isaac, blah, 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 blah. Well, the dad had the phone and the dad was like, this is so-and-so's dad. My daughter does not have her phone so until the summer, so I suggest you don't text her or whatever. And and the kid said to the dad, you're not even ready for this. You're not even fucking ready for this. And I literally said to Joe, I was like, I don't know how to handle this because I've never been in the middle of, well, I mean, I have, like, I've had middle school drama or whatever, but like, I've never had to deal with it for somebody else. And this is what the kid said to the dad. This is why I'm just fucking terrified of all things teenage related, okay? This kid said this to the dad. Bitch, shut your ass up. I'm not scared of your ass. Run up, ho.
Wait, you're kidding. Is this a joke?
No.
So, like, where's these kids' parents?
And he said, what's your parents' phone number? And the kid sent the parents' phone number and goes, the hell, get your grown ass a life. The fuck?
How old is this person that's
7th
texting
grade.
This?
7th grade. And I'm like, do I pull Isaac out of school and homeschool him for the rest of his life? Because I don't know what the fuck is going on. It was like a he said, she said, you know, this boy is texting this girl, Isaac's you know, it's just like all this stuff. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is stuff that you guys should be able to squash. And if you can't, go to the guidance counselor or tell your parents so we can handle it. But like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Lincoln doesn't fight with his friends yet. The only person that Lux fights with sometimes is, you know, Creed. And, you know, he has a friend that he calls his cousin. He doesn't want me cheering for him on the baseball team anymore, only for him. You know, but they don't fight. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do.
I hope that I don't get to that phase.
Well, you will.
No, because I can tell you right now, somebody is going to be on a stretcher if I got a text like that.
No, literally.
And it ain't going to be me.
One of my girlfriends was just telling me that her child, I don't want to address like what the gender is because I don't want to put out identifying information. But she was like, you know, my child was fighting at school. The other child lost the fight or whatever the case was. So the parents and a car full of people came with the daughter, not my friend's child, to the house to fight. And then the other parent put her hands on my friend's child.
No, because if somebody else puts their hands on my kid,
I'll go to jail.
Then I'm going to lay you out.
Yeah, I'm going to jail.
And if I don't, then I might die trying.
I don't know what to do about this teenage, like, these teenage years are so hard. And I just like,
that's so hard.
And it's weird because I saw this TikTok where it was like, you know, at this age, like the teenage ages, kids don't want to listen to their parents. They'll listen to other adults, but they don't want to listen to their parents. And so anything me and Joe say to Isaac is like, feels like a lecture and he doesn't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was kind of having that conversation last night about like, when do kids start like hating their parents? And when I say hate, I say that very like liberally, like not actually hate, but
right.
Just don't want to be around their parents. They don't want to listen to anything their parents say because their parents know nothing. Like, at what age does that happen? And the age that we came up with is sometime around like 13. I never went through that phase though. Like, I always wanted to be around my grandparents and my parents. Like, I never had a sleepover. The only sleepover that I can recall having growing up was after I graduated high school.
Oh.
Yeah, like I didn't do that kind of stuff. Like, I always wanted to be in my room at home with my siblings, with my parents or my grandparents. So I just feel like I wasn't a child that had this kind of stuff that went on. So I don't understand it from that perspective. But then also, I don't have a child that is that age that kind of stuff would be going on. And I don't even know, I don't want to say never because, you know, anything can happen. Jackson's also not personality to engage in stuff like that either. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like Lincoln's the same. Lincoln's not going to,
like what Jackson would get in a fight over would be a score on a basketball court or some type of technical foul or something. Like, that's what the argument's going to be. But the kind of stuff that you're dealing with is absolutely not. So I'm just going to let you know, any parents that are out there that are dealing with that kind of stuff, I am praying for you.
I'll take all the advice I can get. So sorry, I can't give any, but if anyone else has some to give me, I will be happy to share.
Oh my gosh. Okay. This is something that I have always struggled with. And I feel like because you have been pregnant way more times than I have.
Me?
Yeah.
Am I the drama?
Am I the drama? That's one of my favorite TikToks of Lux. Am I the drama?
Did you see his last one where he's like, no eggs, no bacon, and no fried rice?
No fried rice.
Pissed.
And I'm like, bro, like I wish I could eat fried rice and it not make me shit my pants, but it's the MSG, okay? Does anyone actually understand pregnancy due dates and why are they so weird?
Okay, can I please go on a rant about due dates really quick? 'Cause
Yes.
I'm triggered. Okay. This should not, and I'm going to make a TikTok of all the things that bother me that shouldn't bother me, but this is one of them. I cannot stand, this is so fucking petty. Please do not
you, Petty.
do not ever tell me that your child came 2 weeks early, because no, it didn't. Your due date is an estimated due date. They usually say give or take 2 weeks, which means your due date is actually your due month. Okay, because give or take 2 weeks. Please don't tell me that your child came 2 weeks early. It didn't. Your baby didn't.
Okay, I'm going to dispute this, because what if you were trying to get pregnant, you tracked ovulation, you held your legs over your head to make sure that nothing dripped out, you know the dates that you had sex and the times that you had sex.
It's still a due month.
And I knew what my due date was before I went to the doctor. Only gave them the last date of my menstrual cycle. And the date that I had in my phone was the same date that they gave me.
It's still a due month because you are full term at 37 weeks. So therefore your baby could come 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, or 42. It's still a birth month.
Okay,
even if you have the exact date that you conceived, you can sometimes be safely pregnant all the way up to 41. I mean, typically they won't let you go to 42, but no, it's a due month.
Okay, so if I was originally given January 12th as my due date and I had Jackson on December the 29th, is that early or it's not?
No, it's not early.
And I went into labor.
No, your situation is different because you went into labor at what, like 35 weeks?
34 weeks.
34 weeks.
37.
Yours is different. Yours is a different situation. But like for me, Isaac's due date wasn't until February 12th.
So explain the due month thing so that I can understand.
Okay, so we'll use whole numbers.
Okay.
So say you are due January 1st.
Okay.
That's your due date. You are 40 weeks on January 1st. You could give birth all the way up until January 12th, or you could go as early as the middle of December, and it's still a healthy full-term baby.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like if your due date is March 14th, which is when I come, but you give birth on March 1st, your baby didn't come 2 weeks early. She came right on time. It's your due month, give or take 2 weeks.
That kind of makes sense to me because also when they're doing like measurements and stuff, my doctor always told me that this is like not exact. So like it could be like a little more, a little less. Like I always measured 4 weeks behind how pregnant I was, if that makes sense. So like when I went into labor at 34 weeks, I was measuring 30. So that's why they were so scared, because they were like, okay, you're measuring 30, you're 34. This is also your first baby. So like, we don't know what's going on.
Right. So that's a different situation. Like you went into preterm labor, your baby would not have been full term or even close to full term.
Yep.
Now for example, for Lincoln, I know the only time that I could have gotten pregnant was on February 14th of 2016. Okay. So, but I don't know because he was graduating basic training and then went to AIT. It must have been divine intervention or something, because there's just, according to my ovulation calendar, which I had, I wasn't ovulating that week. So I could have ovulated either early or late. And then it just so happened that I still got pregnant. So that also will factor in too. So, you know, sometimes we swear we know our bodies, but certain things can interfere with ovulation. You might ovulate early or late, which would then contribute to the due date being off.
Oh, also another thing that I wanted to tell you was when they do the weight measurements, they also told me that it could be give or take 2 pounds, which is a huge variation when you're talking about babies that are born anywhere from like 5 to 9 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, a 2 pound
difference is a huge deal.
Give or take. Like that's a big deal. They were pretty spot on with mine though, because when I went into preterm labor at the 34 weeks, they were measuring him at 5 pounds. When I had him at 37 weeks, he was 6 pounds, 10 ounces. So that would have been they were pretty spot on.
You know, it sucks because I have a girlfriend who we were pregnant around the same time, Lux and her son, and they scheduled, I guess she was considered geriatric because she was like 36 or 37 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And so they were like, based on your age, and we think he's going to be over 9 pounds, we're going to do a C-section. And he ended up being like 6 or 7 pounds. And it's like, that's not really fair. Like, I get what you were trying to do, but also she was like CrossFitter. Like it's not like she was going to be injured. I mean, whatever. The doctors know better than I do, but she was really disappointed because she's like, this is my first C-section. I've never had a C-section before. And she was upset because they really more so based it on what they thought he was going to weigh. And then he was way off. He was 2 pounds under, like you just said.
That's exactly. And I've heard so many stories of people being like, my measurements and stuff were completely off.
Yeah.
But I think that mine were most accurate because I was so high risk at that point for delivery that they were using machines on me that probably wouldn't be the typical ones that they're using in a regular OB office. So I had 4D stuff going on at the hospital that would probably not have been an option if it was
like a regular appointment.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You guys actually know that I've posted about this on my Instagram story 100 times. Lindsie, I know you've seen it. This is Thrive Cosmetics mascara. It's the liquid lash extensions. I'm obsessed with it. There's no damaging glue, no salon prices. They use a proprietary tubing formula, which means that it wraps around each lash. And when I tell you that you don't get that raccoon look when you're washing your makeup off or, trying to get your makeup off after a long day, it tubes off. So it's so much healthier, in my opinion, for my lashes. It's not like I'm not scrubbing mascara off my eyeballs.
Oh my gosh, this is my most favorite mascara for years. I feel like you really get that look with doing less and it's healthier for you. So I absolutely love it. And I buy it and then I buy more and I buy more and I buy more and I love it. And I don't have the clumping. I don't have any smudging or the flaking. There's nothing worse than like trying to do your makeup and look really cute and then have that like smudge look underneath the bottom. I absolutely hate that. And when I first took this mascara off for the first time in the shower, I was like, wait, what is this? And it was so easy to come off. Does not damage your lashes. I feel like my lashes are so healthy. And I love that it is certified 100% vegan and cruelty-free beauty products made with clean, skin-loving ingredients. So there's no parabens, sulfates, or phthalates without compromising performance. And I can attest from personal usage over the years that it's absolutely amazing. Best mascara ever.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you, Lindsie. And right now you can get an exclusive 20% off your first order when you visit thrivecosmetics.com/coffee. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/coffee for 20% off your first order.
I love this next question. Top things you both get mom shamed for?
That's a good one.
It's a really good question. People say that I baby Jackson a lot. And
he's an only child.
That bothers me because one, you're not living in my household. And again, you're only being exposed to what I'm exposing you to.
Well, and he's an only child. So of course it's going to seem like you're babying him, even if you're not, which who the fuck cares if you do or don't? But like, he's an only child. So if it seems like you are babying him, it's because he's the only child. So you're only going to see me posting him.
I feel like I baby Jackson way more than you do your kids. And I feel like your kids are a lot more self-sufficient than Jackson is.
I don't know about that.
No, like just the stories of Lux cleaning his own bathroom.
Okay, but that's because his dad is like that. Like he sees his dad do that. You know what I mean?
But like Jackson sees me cleaning and, doing all kinds of stuff around the house. But I will say, I think, and maybe a lot of parents that have one child will relate to this, that I chose to have one child and have a less chaotic life. Like that was a choice. And I don't have to have him really help me that much. And I know that it's probably, I'm probably doing a disservice to him by some of that because he's not learning certain things. I feel like, oh, it's just easier for me to do it, so I'll just do it. But I know that there's a negative part of that too, because he's not learning how to do it because he doesn't have to do it. So I've caught myself more recently being like, okay, you can at least put your plate in the sink and rinse it off, for me to like load it in the dishwasher. Before, that would be something like he would eat, go wash his hands, leave his plate, everything there, and I would clean it up because I just have one child's plate to clean and it's only him and I here, and when he's here, I enjoy spending the time with him, not doing chores and all that kind of stuff because he's only here 50% of the time. So the time that I spend with him, I feel like it's hard to try to like lay down on him and be like, hey, like you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this. So what I've kind of started enforcing is the time that his sitter comes once a week, I have them doing that stuff together. So then I'm not the one having to do that. And people will probably say, oh, well, that's a cop out, so that you don't have to do it and you don't have to enforce parenting or whatever. But I choose to spend the time with him as like quality time. And I probably do baby him way more than I should. And I know that. But then we also have had like a lot of life things that are going on that I feel like I've had to shelter him from. And he's trying to understand and like walking through that. And we've always kind of had like a hectic and chaotic family life. So that's why.
Everybody's family dynamic and parenting is always going to look different. And I don't see anything wrong with what you're doing. That's weird to me. That feels very weird to me because like I said, he's an only child. So it's going to seem one way, even if it's not. But at the end of the day, if you want to baby him, he is your only baby. That is your prerogative.
Like I don't have another one to do it with, So I'm like, I think that I sometimes latch on to the moments way more than parents of multiples do because you're getting to experience it multiple times. So like once that phase is gone with one of your kids, you have another one like in the lineup that is coming up on that phase that you get to, have that experience with. So I feel like I don't want him to grow up too fast. I feel like kids in today's time grow up so fast because of the access that they have to the internet, how other people's kids are raised, how other people are raising their children, that my child's being subjected to, that, they're allowed to kind of just like grow up and they know everything. I try to keep that limited in my household because I don't want him to grow up too fast because I want him to be a child. I want him to experience true childhood outside of everything feeling so heavy and grown.
I agree with you. I don't similar, but not the same. I get shamed for people think that I have a favorite, which I don't. Every one of my kids is very different. And so Lux and Lincoln typically like to be on like TikTok and Instagram with me way more than the others do. Isaac doesn't really like to so much. Actually, Isaac told me the other day, he wants to do modeling and acting, but he doesn't want the attention for it. And I was like, oh, well, that's Adam Sandler. And I showed him what Adam Sandler wears like on a regular basis. But I get shamed for my baby daddies. I get shamed for, dating, which I could name 5 of my friends who are in the public eye who have dated more men and introduced their kids to more men than me. I'm not going to do that because it's not my fucking business. But like, I feel like I do get shamed more for that than others. And then I think I get shamed a lot for like my mom, like my kid-free trips. But a lot of them are for work or for an occasion, like my birthday or whatever the case may be.
I feel like the kid-free trips, you and I have talked about that a lot and how I don't really do them. And the only time that I really have done them is post-divorce and during times that I wouldn't have Jackson in any way.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing, though, is when I do kid-free trips, 99% of the time, unless it's like a work thing that I can't reschedule, my personal life is when I wouldn't have them anyway. With the exception of my birthday, I think I gave up 2 days of my own that I'll put somewhere else. I will make up those 2 days. I've already made them up. But there are times when they have dads, you know, like, I don't know why they don't get shamed for it, but not that I want them to get shamed. I don't want them to get shamed, but why are dads not getting shamed? Well, where are your kids? They're with their mom. Why can't I say the same?
Well, I think in both of our situations, the shaming is coming because of the access that we allow people to have to us, whereas the dads are not allowing that type of access. So that's probably why they get less heat than what one of us would get, because we're putting everything out there in the open for anybody to say whatever they want to say. And that it just
That's
is what it is.
Right. So I'm choosing to share it so people can judge based on what they're seeing. And I guess, I mean, that part does come with the territory, I guess, but it still sucks. I mean, it might come with the territory, it might not, but it still sucks.
Also, I just want to say, not that the year really matters, but 2023, why the fuck are we mom shaming?
Like, what? I don't know. I think I don't know.
Like, I'm not out here. You and I have talked about this many a times too. Like, the last thing that I would ever do is go on social media and talk about a fellow mom. Like, she's doing the best she can do. And I see her, I feel you. I might not relate to whatever that shit is that you're doing, but like, she's doing what fits the needs of her family. So I'm not going to be mom shaming. So I think everybody else should follow suit.
If I've ever mom shamed in my life, I am here to publicly say I'm sorry. And I was probably not in a good place because I have no business mom shaming. I don't like to mom shame. I don't want to be mom shamed. And so we're just going to do our best from here on out. Like, there's going to be no mom shaming.
Next thing, I saw this and became immediately alarmed.
Oh, God.
Very alarmed. There was lots of conversation surrounding this. It says, I hope Kail and Lindsie can answer, but I'm literally dying laughing. Settle this debate between me and my husband. Do you A, wash your asshole just on the outside with soap and water when you shower? Or B, do you put the tip of your finger barely inside your asshole and clean? And do you wash the inside of your belly button every time you shower? He thinks I'm disgusting just washing the outside of my butt with soap and water. Help.
Okay, number one.
Ma'am?
I do wash my belly button. That's something I've been doing since I was in probably like middle school or high school. Like, when I first discovered that there was like things in my belly button. Not things, just like dirt. I have said this before I'm pretty sure it was on this podcast. I have never in my life seen a man clean their ass as thoroughly as he does. And I told you guys, me and him shower together very frequently. So I'm going to call him because I feel like this is my lifeline on this. I hope that
Before you call, are you telling me that Elijah sticks his finger in his asshole?
No, I don't think he does, but he's so thorough. And I don't think that hold on.
Like, how do you even clean an asshole properly? Like, what's the rules?
Hello?
Hey, babe.
Hey.
You know how, like, I always tell you how good you are at washing your butt?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Who taught you how to wash your body and your butt?
My parents.
When you wash your butt, do you stick the washcloth and the tip of your finger in your butthole?
No. Who the fuck does that?
Okay, I was just wondering. All right, see you later. Bye. He said no. Who the fuck does that?
Okay, I just text someone to see what their answer is.
That's not normal because I don't think. So
I just feel like.
Picture this, okay? This is your butt, and this is the finger with the washcloth over it, and you shove soap in there, right? So you're putting the tip of your finger and pushing soap in there, and then you take it out and you rinse it, but that soap is still inside.
I think that's why soap bottles. Have you ever seen where it's like not for only
internal
for external use or something?
Yes.
So, sorry, I was reading the text message. I just texted and said, "Do you wash your asshole on the outside or clean the inside of your asshole?" Shut up. I said, "Which one?" I don't know. Yes, you do.
He probably just want to say the wrong answer.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to put soap like in your actual asshole.
You're definitely
I think
not.
you need to get an enema. Isn't that what they're called?
But like,
if you want that part cleaned, you need an enema.
That's like saying that we should be putting a soap and washcloth inside of our ear holes.
I mean, I do put soap, like we talked about my dial job. I'll dial up a washcloth and like rinse it off, but like the dial's still on there, and I do it like really hot, and I'll go like around like the insides of my ears.
Yeah, but you're not shoving it in your ear hole.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing that. But okay, now this leads me to the next question. Your vagina.
No, you're asking for VV. You're asking for your pH to be all the way off. And I had a girlfriend that I once hooked up with like years ago who used to wash inside of her vagina. And like, I knew she was clean, but like it wasn't a clean taste or smell because she did that.
So like, oh, so you went down on her.
Yeah.
So like,
and I know how clean of a person she is. So it's not because she had STDs or she was dirty. It was just because she told me, she explicitly told me in words that she washes inside of her coochie.
Okay. So are we talking like stick soap, like up in the hole? Okay. Yeah. No, that's a no for me, dog. If you need that part clean, then you just need to get like the Flora Power suppositories to stick up there, because that'll like clear you out.
What is that? What is a Flora suppository? Do you put it in your vagina?
Yeah, it's like a vaginal suppository.
And that takes care of BV?
It's like a pH balancer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like you can do stuff like that, but I would highly not recommend sticking any type of soap
or douche,
anything like up your coochie hole or your asshole. Like, okay, he said, I just clean it with soap. But do you stick the soap in the actual asshole?
That's not normal.
That I feel like I feel like we've answered this question. Yeah.
What comes to mind when you picture the perfect roommate? One who comes when you call, one who doesn't forget to lock the doors, one who doesn't steal your milk just a little bit at a time, hoping you won't notice. At Apartments.com, we understand that when it comes to roommates, a pet can be your best bet.
They're easygoing, eat what you serve them, and never clog the toilet. That's why we have the most pet-friendly rental listings on the internet. And with instant alerts, you'll know the moment your perfect pet-friendly place becomes available. So when you need a place that's pet-friendly and human-tolerant, check out Apartments.com, the place to find your pet-friendly place.
You think Vanderpump Rules is messy now?
It's always been messy. I'm Jax Taylor, the OG Pump Rules villain.
And I'm Brittany Cartwright, wife of the OG villain. And we've got a new podcast, When Reality Hits.
We'll definitely be talking about Vanderpump Rules, past and present, and oh my, Scandival.
Ugh. And you'll get a look at what life is like for us now as we figure out marriage and parenthood. Little cruisy.
And friendships, and definitely feuds.
It's our real reality, with and without cameras.
And sometimes with special guests like our celeb friends, former castmates, and other veterans of reality TV.
So listen to and follow When Reality Hits with us, Jax Taylor and Brittany Cartwright.
At Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, and I need to know this one, and then we're going to move along to foul play. Y'all, what is the pettiest thing a man has ever done to you after a breakup? Asking because I thought I'd seen it all after a messy breakup with my kid's dad and being in the process of moving. I discovered this man stole my vibrators and other toys. Like, what? I've done some petty shit, but this is a whole new level. Like, yes, slash tires, but you stole my nut. Disrespectful.
Like, this reminds me of Kevin Hart's stand-up comedy where he says, like, you got to do something petty, like steal all the backs to her earrings. So when she goes to put them in, there's no earrings, there's no backs. The pettiest thing, you answer first, and I need Kristen to do a power thinking situation here because there's got to be something that an ex did to me.
The pettiest thing that Will Campbell has ever done to me is drop off my passport hole punched and tell me that I wasn't going anywhere.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He dropped it off hole punched.
No, he didn't.
And I was like, oh, good. Good. Evidently, I'm really not going anywhere.
Wait, so what did you do?
You should ask Kristen about my passport process, because that was worse than any process that I've ever gone through in my entire life.
I need to know how and where he thought of that.
The amount of appointments that I had to go to. And then I was like, fuck, like if I turn this passport in and it's valid and it's got hole punches all over the fucking thing, is someone getting arrested? Because like, I don't know. I was very unwell. I definitely did not go anywhere. So point proven. Yeah.
I'm actually like, that's genius, but it's also psychotic.
The answer to the question of the person that I asked about the butthole shit said, I just clean it with soap. And I said, do you stick the soap in your actual asshole? No. Why do I get asked these questions? I said,
podcast
I just
content.
need to know. And you don't realize that you're just on Coffee Combos. So sorry about it. Yeah. So that's the pettiest.
So
thing.
Crazy, but also very like that was next level. You don't even, wow. I would have been so pissed.
You think you're going somewhere?
Oh, you're not going anywhere, bitch.
Because we are now divorced and you can do whatever the fuck you want to. But little do you know, your ass might be going somewhere, but it's going to be in the U.S.
I have to tell you, I might have told this story before. Kristen texted me some things that exes have done. So I'm going to tell the story and then we'll do foul play.
Okay.
I'm not going to name names because I'm not in the game of being petty anymore, like once upon a time. However, one of the Teen Mom cast franchise people,
you know who it is,
told me the story of her
putting crickets.
No, that was as much as I disliked that girl at that time, that was so fucking good that I laughed. Like we weren't even on good terms, like sitting on that couch that day when I saw that, and I was like, wow, that was epic. And I really, after that, I definitely thought about doing that to my ex, but because we were in the same situation at that time. But no, another cast member told me this story about how her and her man were buying a house and she got, whatever she got in her loan. And then her man was giving her cash towards the down payment or whatever. And once he gave her the cash deposit or the cash money, not a bank account, not a transfer, it was like a check. She put it towards the house because it was in cash, found out he was cheating, and she took all of his stuff out of the house, put it in the yard, and put itching powder in it. And he came and got his stuff, and it had itching powder all in it.
You need to text me who this was.
Okay.
I want to see if I am right.
Were you right?
Shut up.
I swear to God.
No.
She told me this to my face. Like she said it like in real life. Like it wasn't like a third party story. This is like directly to me. She said it. I was bagging the fuck up. I was like, ain't no way that I would have thought of that on the spot. So there's two petty things that Kristen sent me that exes did. One was, and I don't know if we were fighting or what it was, but an ex of mine decided to show up at like 3 a.m. to return a necklace that I had given this ex. And this person put it on my doorknob at like 3 a.m. and then like texted me. And it's just like, you did not need to return that. Like you drove all this way to put a necklace on my doorknob. Then other thing.
Okay, I have to comment on that.
Okay.
If you're my ex or you become my ex and I have given you things, like whether they be like clothes, I don't know, household items, whatever, immediately know, if you're listening to this is a public service announcement, never fucking give it back.
Literally never give it back.
I gave it to you because I wanted you to have it. And I want you to keep it so when you're using it and I'm no longer with you because you came to the door in a pair of shorts that I purchased you while you were fucking somebody else, keep it. Because every time you wear them, you have to think of me.
100%. 100%. 100%. The other thing was this particular ex physically lit my book on fire, and the caption to the post on Instagram was something to the effect of like, moving on to the next chapter or something like that, or closing this chapter. And it was like my book actually lit on fire and him in the picture smiling.
That was Chris.
When his aunt liked that picture, listen to me. When his aunt liked that picture, I don't know why I assumed that she knew it was my book. I texted his aunt and was like, why are you condoning this behavior? Like, this is the shit I'm talking about. She's like, I had no idea that was your book.
Goodbye.
I was like, oh.
Good.
Sorry about that.
Goodbye. On that note, foul play.
Foul play. Mom version of a foul play, I guess you'd say. I've been dying to share with someone besides my husband because it's hilarious, but I didn't want to be judged. I knew Kitty Gang wouldn't judge. And no, there's no judgment here.
No.
So today I'm in the car. We've been listening to my son's playlist already, and I was getting bored. He pretty much tunes all my music, the podcast, all the above out because he has a bunch of toys and doesn't care. He's newly 3. So I put on some early 90s jams, and I think first, like a Nelly song, then Shake Your Tail Feather, etc. My son is playing and jamming out. Then Laffy Taffy by D4L comes on. It crossed my mind that I should probably change it, but my son wasn't paying attention and quietly playing and singing Blippi's Excavator song, so I left it. Next thing I know, my son goes, Mama, what's that song about? I turned it down some and said, well, it's about a guy who likes lollipops. I had every intention of changing the song after answering his questions. His response, no, Mama, it's about shaking booty cheeks. I reached to change it. He said, Mama, why he lick her toes? Clearly, he's definitely going to grow up to be his daddy's son. In the meantime, I'm going to have to start listening to some different car music. The funny thing is, to Coffee Combos, Baby Mama's, Southern Tea, and Barely Famous podcasts all the time, but it's not ever very loud, and he's talking, so he must tune it out.
First of all,
the kids don't, that is one wise 3-year-old, because I have a 9-year-old that blasts this crazy music and doesn't even know what the fuck he's saying. And in my head, I'm like, Lincoln asked me yesterday, can you put on Sex Sounds by Lil TJ or whatever the fuck the rapper's name is? And I looked at him and I said, do you know what Sex Sounds means? And he goes, no. I said, well, then no, I'm not playing it, because absolutely the fuck not.
God, that's like Jackson being like, hey, Mom, can my walkout song be Super Gremlin? And I'm like,
we both look
like, do you even know? Like, sir, first of all, we should all be very careful about the music that if you are our age or in our age range, the type of music that we were listening to in the back seats of our parents' Suburbans.
My mom's Chrysler.
Ma'am. Like,
yeah, no. I remember.
No.
What was that song?
What's that song? It's
David
like,
Banner. Oh my God. David Banner. Come, girl. Let me see your body sweat. We would sing that in the car on the way to cheerleading competitions and had no idea what the fuck that meant. I know my mom was cringing. She was probably like, what in the fuck is this? Why are we listening to this? But we had no idea what we were saying.
You know, the song, I'm going to lick you from your head to your toes. My back, my neck, my back, my pussy,
you're talking
and
about
my
Ludacris.
crack.
I'll lick you from your head to your toes, and I want to move from the bed
down to the floor. It's like,
oh my God.
First of all, okay, I have one story about one song that I thought my dad was going to absolutely come unfucking glued. I'm a genie in a bottle. And I'm in the back seat and I'm like, I'm a genie in a bottle, baby. You can rub me the right way, honey.
Come and let me.
Dirty, Christina Aguilera.
Oh, Dirty? That was my shit, though. Like, I had this little microphone from Radio Shack. It was like a headset. I was like Britney Spears. I was singing Dirty. The whole stripped album was everything. Everything.
And it's like, I was doing cheerleading routines like upstairs, and my dad would like hear me hit the floor. It would be like bang, bang, like where my knees were hitting the floor. And I'm like, too dirty to clean my act up.
Period. Oh my God, that's my next Instagram caption. Period. Too dirty to clean my act up. Oh my God.
Bye. I'm
gonna listen to that on the way fucking home today. I'm gotta put it in my notes. When y'all see the caption, you already know. Kitty Gang.
Too
dirty to clean my act up.
Okay, next foul play.
Okay, fine.
Man, do I have a foul play for y'all. So yesterday morning, I woke up late as fuck for work. Like I needed to be at work by the time I woke up. We've all been there. We've all been there. So obviously, I didn't have much time to do much that morning. Well, apparently, I forgot I was on my period, didn't change my cup, and honestly forgot about it. First of all, this is why I can't do a cup for many reasons. Never even tried one, so I'm not going to harass anybody about this, but I just couldn't do it. So that night I was like, I need to remove it ASAP. So I'm trying to take it out and I cannot find the fucking pull tab to take it out. At this point, I'm almost 5 fingers deep in my cat trying to grasp this cup and take it out of me. But let me tell you, y'all, the suction of my cat is crazy because it would not release the cup. Bad for you, but good for whoever's getting in it. At this point, I'm scared. I have to go to the ER. So now I have to tell my wife I need her help and preface to her the fact that it's probably got old blood in it. So she's fishing and she finally gets it out and we're just looking at each other. Well, definitely got a laugh out of it for sure. Hope y'all did too. Okay, well, I know a friend who has a similar story about having somebody fish a tampon out of their hoo-ha because they thought they saw a string, but then like there was nothing in there. And I just don't know. Vaginas are all different, right? But like, I don't know that I could forget that there was a tampon in there.
No, I could. I have. I also, happy Pride Month, because obviously this is 2 women. So happy Pride Month. Also, I feel like lesbians don't really give, I mean, I've never given a fuck about period blood. So like that wouldn't freak me out. And I would also laugh about it. I have forgotten tampons. I don't think I could forget a cup.
I wouldn't know what it feels like, so I can't say like if it would be easier to forget than a tampon.
No, I think the cup would be harder to forget.
You do?
Yeah.
So how does it work? Like
you like fold it a certain way at the top because it like they're malleable.
Silicone?
Yeah. I don't know if malleable was the word, but anyway, you can like fold it a certain way and there's like different like folding techniques to insert it. But I still, and you might not feel it, but I still think at some point because I don't think it goes up as far as a tampon, or if it does, like you'd be able to stick your finger up and like feel it.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that I would be able to forget a cup, but I've definitely forgotten a tampon, and also that sucks. But I don't know why this reminded me of that, but I have an ex that was like, he fetishized my, I don't know, fetish. Yeah, he had a fetish with my period blood, so that wouldn't have grossed him out.
What?
Did I never tell you that?
No.
Oh yeah, I had an ex that was like obsessed with my period blood.
Was he obsessed with other people's period blood?
No.
It was just yours?
Mm-hmm. And like
Will you
that
text
has
me
crossed
who it was?
You want me to text you who it was?
Yeah.
It has crossed my mind since, I have not talked to him in a long time. But I'm like, does he have a thing with like his new girlfriend's blood? I don't know.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I would have never guessed that. Mm-hmm. My guess would have been a different person. I want to end on this. To the window.
To the wall.
Sweat drip down my balls.
I'm done.
All these females crawl. On that note, if you guys have not followed us on @CoffeeCombos Podcast on Instagram, make sure you follow us there. Make sure you subscribe from whatever podcast app, wherever you get your podcast. Always first at Podcast One. We hope you guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.
See ya.